Hello, everyone. How are you all feeling? We're sitting right at that new moon and the solar eclipse. I know yesterday felt like I'd been run over by a truck, so the energy was definitely being felt through my body. So I guess everyone on some level will be feeling. Depends on whether you're conscious of it or not. I know I had a conversation with quite a few people and messages coming in saying, why do I feel so tired? So we've had a big change with the new moon and the eclipse. So when you know about know about this, you can manage your energy body. So I rested in between jobs yesterday, and closed my eyes often and just gave some centering to my body. So you might feel that that's still taking place at the moment. You might feel like you are still a little bit irritable or not sleeping okay. So be gentle with yourself today. The next couple of weeks, it's a changing time, but it's an opportunity, a really great opportunity to start to work towards what we want for 2021. So, yes, I've also had some people calling in asking, how do I know the difference between my intuition and my thoughts? And I thought I'd just cover that a little bit before I have a look, take a few cards and have a look at what we've got coming up, or how we should be focusing over the next couple of weeks, and what to look out for. So the question that, how do I know? I had to sit and think about that a little bit. And I think what came for me was the perspective of how much judgment we have in the world. So the less judgment we have, the more we're sort of able to perceive. And I guess what I mean by that is the ability to be able to not really see a right or wrong, just that there is something taking place here, and you can feel it through your inner intelligence rather than looking at it through the mind. I know the mind is, it's such a chatterbox. We've all got the compulsive overthinking, that's part of our human experience. But when we can still that down, then the intuition surfaces is probably how I would describe it. That it actually comes up, and we can just know. There's a knowing. So that ability to be able to listen, really silent listening rather than thinking. When people are having conversation, you're always preparing yourself for what you're going to say rather than dropping into that deeper place where we can listen and hear on a deeper level. So it's always a good practice to practice just listening, and when they've finished talking, then allow what's coming up for you to come. It's being formulated from a different place to the overthinking of the mind. That was one that I sort of thought, did I write something down? The other thing was just being able to, I see it as sort of like Martians. We just put our antennas up. Think of it more like that we're tuning in. We're transmitters. We're receiving and we're transmitting. So as energy bodies. So when you've got your antennas up and you're receiving, that's when you're doing that deeper listening. And when you're transmitting is when you're actually offering. You're offering something that you know about from inside. And when it comes to using the cards, that sort of takes away the mind activity in it. And the cards for me become like a divining rod. They're the extension of the knowing. And that's why I don't worry too much about whether the card is the information, in the ancient information from the text, but more so what I'm intuiting through that card. It sort of gives me confirmation of what I'm picking up clairvoyantly or intuitively. So yeah, I hope that was a nice little tip for those ones out there that I know are starting to read and starting to really add to all the light workers. And thank you for everyone that's got on this page, on this channel, I should say. I'm used to talking in Facebook, not a page, it's a channel. So thank you very much for the ones that have hit the subscribe button, and you will hopefully also have hit the bell so that you get a notification when I'm offering some spiritual tips and doing some readings. So yeah, all the new ones that have come on, thank you. And all the wonderful, I had a great show with Lilac Lantern. If you haven't been up on her channel, go over and have a look. She's a great girl and brings lots of interesting people to her channel to listen to. So she had a show for me a couple of days ago, and it was just wonderful. We had a great time. And yeah, so subscribe to her as well to support her. She's been my teacher. So as I start in this world of YouTube. So yes, please share and there's information apparently below this that you can see what I've written, and you can make comments. So I've got a website, susanskyring.com. It's an easy one for you to jump on and see whatever else you want to find out about me. And I live in Australia, so welcome on board everybody. And I think I've got a really great community starting here. So yeah, please let me know and put your comments on. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards just for a little while. I just thought we might look at, seeing we're getting so close to the end of the year. You know, it's this big 2020 that we've had this year. Maybe we should just have a look at what should we really be looking out for and putting our attention on and focusing on over the next 2 weeks, because I think it's only a couple of weeks till the end of the year. Isn't that amazing? And we're all here. You know, waking up, and we've had a big year. We've had a really big year. Some people more so than others, but on all levels, everyone has had something that has challenged them this 2020, and that's all part of this new movement that we're shifting into. And I'm sure all of you that are on here understand there's a shift on. And if you aren't aware of it, you'll feel it on some level, and you might dive in a bit deeper and have a look at what's left here to look at, you know. So let's have a look. I'm just going to, maybe I'll have a go at letting you see this. Now, I apologise, I haven't worked this out, but if I bring this right down here, you might be able to see the cards, and I'll try and do it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to take 3 cards and see what happens for us over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and what we need to focus on. So these dear old cards, they're getting pretty, but I love them. They're just an extension of me. Can't travel anywhere in the world without them. So I'm just asking, what should we be looking out for over the next couple of weeks? How's it feeling? What's building? Okay, I'm just going to split. So I'll just move those there so that you can see. Ooh, look at all this. Whoa, okay, all the swords. What to look out for? Okay, so I'm looking at 2 upside down. These 2 are upside down, and this one, the other way around. No, they're all upside down. Wow, they're all upside down. Look at that. Okay, they're all there for you to look at. Page of Swords came out first, and this is all about communication for me. This sort of says, be very aware of what you're speaking, what you're thinking, and what actions you're taking. This one might be what we're feeling at the moment. It's very much, the energy's very irritable. It's very irritable, and you might feel like you haven't got a lot of tolerance to people around you, or you might speak before you think. So this is something to take notice of. And I feel like, somebody could speak to you in a harsh way as well. So it's really important to, hold your space really centered and keep your own thoughts quiet if that is happening to you. Notice that. This can also be connected to communication coming in from other sources. So you might be hearing a lot on the news. There might be some major events, and I'd say we're probably right about to hear that now in terms of what's happening in the States. Not so much here in Australia, but I do feel there'll be some political decisions made today or close to today in the next couple of days. So yeah, things are happening there, moving fast, and that's part of that pushing out of all the shadows while we've got this full moon on. The full moon's just like pushing everything that doesn't serve us anymore up to the surface to be cleared. So, continue to do your own personal inner work, because out of that comes real clarity and action and decisions about, all the things that you want coming up next. This is very important that you take action, write, and it could be writing, it could be speaking, it could be setting intentions, clear, precise intentions. And I would say write down a list of all the things that you're planning for yourself for 2021, because now's the time to do it, between now and the full moon. So when the full moon comes, it's, that's the time when after that, we'll get another pause for a while, and then it'll be like right into it. We'll be manifesting rapidly. So I love this. I love this card's come out there in the middle of these two, because these two are the challenging ones. And then it's a case of, okay, don't give yourself too hard a time through the end of the year, because you'll be, wanting to get going, but could be overthinking things, and you can't see clearly when you do that. When you get really stressed and full and too much going on, and you're giving yourself a hard time because you want to get going. This one says, back up a bit, back up a bit, and allow yourself to see clearly. Let that, if this lady backed up onto those swords, she would set herself free. She would set herself free. She'd be cutting through that stress, and it would free her out. So she'd be able to see clearly. She'd be able to see really clearly. There's a bit of emotional, and it feels like it could have come through this Christmas family time where we're wanting to connect and maybe not being able to see everybody and do everything that we wanted to the same. But it's a different way now, and we're learning that in this shift. So yeah, that's looking interesting. I'm just going to take one of these Wildlife Wisdom cards too, and just see what comes out of there. So that looks like 2 to 3 weeks. But I love this sitting in the centre of it. So, you're going to be able to take so much action, and you're going to be clear, and you'll move forward. Just watch yourself through this period, because it is a time of taking a bit of time out. We're in the seasonal holiday time. So, yeah, don't be afraid to take a bit of time and just reflect. Okay, what's coming up for the wombat? Yes, strategy. Okay. Make sure you've got plan A and plan B, and make sure you have a strategy there. The wombat in Australia has, this amazing rump, I'll call it a rump, behind, and he always has this strategy, his burrow that he can go into, that he can dive down if he's under attack. He dives down and he puts his steel-plated rump to the outer world, so that if anything is going to be a challenge for him, he can protect himself. So have a strategy, and lovely wombat comes to you with that message today. I'm just going to, there's a little bowl over here. Just grab one out of this bowl. I just got a whole bowl of little messages in here. So I'm just going to grab one out of there too, just for our final dig, 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 dig. Oh, wow. Grace. Okay, so I think after 2020, we can all receive, can you see that? Grace. All receive our grace. All right, I'm just going to push it back up and say, have a wonderful day today, or evening if I'm talking to you in other parts of the world. And I look forward to coming back on again soon. Please put your comments or subscribe and share. Lots of love. Talk to you soon. Bye now.